The search for true connection. From the beginning of time, people have wondered why we feel deeply connected to some and not to others. Why do certain relationships change us forever, while others pass by like a momentary breeze? Is it fate? Is it chemistry? Or is there something deeper going on? We often use the word love for many different feelings. Sometimes we mistake excitement or desire for something more meaningful. We feel a strong pull toward someone and assume it must be real love. But that isn't always true. Attraction can be powerful, even overwhelming. But that doesn't mean it's a soul connection. Carl Jung, one of the most respected thinkers in psychology, believed that the people who come into our lives are not random. He said they are mirrors, showing us parts of ourselves, sometimes parts we don't even realize exist. That idea alone changes how we view our relationships. It tells us that love isn't just something that happens to us. It's something that reveals us. In this video, we'll explore how to tell the difference between a true soul connection and a simple attraction. We'll look at what each one feels like, what it means, and why understanding this difference can change the way we love and the way we see ourselves. The illusion of attraction. Attraction can feel magical, that rush you get when you meet someone and feel an instant spark. It's exciting, intense, and almost impossible to ignore. But just because a connection feels strong doesn't always mean it's deep or lasting. Many people confuse this feeling with real love, when in truth it may be something very different. Carl Jung explained that we often project our hidden desires, fears, and unmet needs onto others. That means what we see and feel in someone might not actually be about them. It might be about us. We're drawn to people who reflect something we've buried or longed for inside ourselves. For example, if you've spent years hiding your vulnerability, you might feel a strong pull toward someone who shows their emotions freely. But that doesn't always mean you're meant to be with them. It just means they're showing you something you've been missing in yourself. This kind of attraction can lead to intense relationships, but also painful ones. Because when the fantasy fades and reality sets in, we often realize that we weren't in love with the person. We were in love with the feeling they gave us. This is the illusion of attraction. Powerful, but not always true. And if we don't learn to see through it, we can find ourselves repeating the same patterns again and again. What is a soul connection? A soul connection feels different. It isn't loud or chaotic. It doesn't come with confusion or fear. It feels calm, steady, and real. You don't have to guess where you stand with the other person, and you don't feel the need to impress or pretend. It's a quiet kind of knowing, like your soul recognizes theirs. Unlike surface-level attraction, a soul connection isn't based on need. You're not looking for someone to complete you or fix something that's broken. Instead, you've done the work to understand and accept yourself. You're not searching for a missing piece. You're meeting someone who's also whole on their own, and together you simply fit. There's honesty. There's trust. There's growth. You both feel safe to be who you really are, no masks, no games. It's not about controlling or changing each other, but about supporting and encouraging one another. A soul connection is built on respect, on truth, and on deep understanding. It doesn't burn out quickly, because it's not just about emotions or desire. It's about something deeper, something lasting. Jung's psychology, understanding the self first. Carl Jung believed that if we want to experience deep, healthy relationships, we have to start with ourselves. He called this process individuation, a journey of getting to know and accept every part of who we are, even the parts we try to hide. According to Jung, the relationships we attract are mirrors. They reflect the parts of us we haven't healed, faced, or understood yet. That's why we often find ourselves in the same kinds of relationships over and over, ones filled with drama, fear, or confusion. It's not because we're unlucky. It's because there's something inside us that needs our attention. Jung called this the shadow, the parts of ourselves we've pushed down or denied. Until we face those shadows, we'll keep being drawn to people who trigger them. Doing the inner work means asking honest questions. What am I really looking for in love? Am I trying to avoid being alone? Do I expect someone else to fix me? When we begin to answer these questions and take responsibility for our own healing, everything changes. We become clearer. We stop chasing illusions, and we start attracting relationships that match the peace and clarity we've built inside. Contrasting experiences. Attraction versus soul bond. At first, it can be hard to tell the difference between simple attraction and a soul connection. Both can feel intense. Both can come with strong emotions. But the experiences they create are very different. Attraction often brings quick highs and lows. One moment you're flying, the next you're filled with doubt. There may be passion, but also anxiety. You might feel a need to constantly prove your worth, or fear that the other person will leave. This kind of relationship often feeds off attention, validation, or the fear of being alone. It can be exciting, but it's unstable, and usually it doesn't last. A soul connection, on the other hand, brings peace. It doesn't rush. It doesn't overwhelm. You don't have to chase it or force it. There's trust and emotional safety. You feel seen, not just for how you look or what you do, but for who you truly are. There's no need to change the other person or lose yourself to be loved. The bond is built on real understanding, not fantasy. The biggest difference is this: attraction often comes from a place of emptiness, while a soul bond comes from a place of wholeness. One drains you, the other nourishes you, and when you've felt both, you'll never confuse the two again. Signs you've found a soul connection. So how can you tell if it's a soul connection and not just attraction? One of the clearest signs is how calm you feel. There's no chasing, no drama, no confusion. You don't spend your nights overthinking or questioning your worth. Instead, there's a quiet sense of trust. You feel safe to be yourself, completely and honestly. In a soul connection, you don't have to hide parts of who you are. You don't need to perform or wear a mask to be accepted. You're loved for your truth, not your image. The other person sees you, your strengths, your flaws, your history, and chooses to walk beside you anyway. Another sign is freedom. You both have space to grow. You support each other's dreams without holding each other back. There's no fear of change, because the bond isn't built on control or dependence. It's built on respect and choice. You're not together out of need. You're together because it feels right. And finally, there's a deep sense of recognition, like you've known this person forever. Like your souls remember each other. It doesn't need to be explained, you just know. Invitation to look within. If you haven't felt this kind of connection yet, that's okay. The truth is, a soul connection doesn't begin by searching for the right person. It begins by becoming the right version of yourself. It starts with a simple but powerful question: have I really looked within? Many people chase love hoping it will heal their loneliness or give them a sense of purpose. But real love, the kind that lasts and nourishes, doesn't come from need, it comes from inner fullness. When you take time to understand yourself, to heal your wounds, to accept both your light and your shadow, everything changes. You stop settling for less, you stop confusing attention for love, and you begin to attract something far deeper. Carl Jung believed that every relationship we have reflects the relationship we have with ourselves. So if we want to experience something better, something real, we must start by being honest with who we are and what we carry inside. This is your invitation, not to look harder for love, but to look deeper into yourself. That's where the real connection begins. Let me know when you're ready for the final section. Closing thoughts: the transformation.